All right, game number 2. We're picking up on turn number 2. And this is the Fishy Fiends versus the Wasabazons. Ajax versus War Horsemen. We've got Chaos Renegades versus Amazons. So we've seen how Amazons played in game number 1 this evening. We've got the weather actually turned on. Wasabazons on defense, the Fishy Fiends on offense. The Fishy Fiends, a Chaos Renegades team, they are defined by the fact that they can field up to 3 big guys. They were down a big guy going into this matchup due to injury. They have the Minotaur, a kind sir, and they have Festoon, the ogre. The perhaps most important big guy, the Rat Ogre, out with an injury this week. The Rat Ogre can be made reliable by beating up on his own teammates. Oh, and you know what? My thanks to Houndot for collaborating on the stream again. Let me give a shout out to Houndot one more time. Yeah, I've never used that feature before, and Houndot walked me through it. So appreciate Houndot, not just for playing in the league and giving us a great showing with the Amazons, but working with me there to figure that out. So give Houndot some love. Give Houndot a follow. Great Blood Bowl coach, and a really great person. Houndot saved the Spike Magazine Trophy Finals for us. We were able to stream a stream of it through Houndot and myself when the Blood Bowls 3 servers were acted up, and were able to watch the finals for the Spike Magazine Trophy. Yeah, Houndot has been fantastic. So I fully believe that Houndot's just straight up awesome as a person. Fishy Fiends on turn 3. They're going to cross the line of scrimmage to the opposing 3-yard line. So these other 2 big guys are inherently unreliable, as big guys tend to be. The Ogre here with the boneheaded nega trait. Every time he activates, he rolls a d6. On a 1, he loses his tackle zones, loses his activation until he succeeds that roll on a future turn. The Minotaur here with Animal Fury, Unchanneled Fury. This player on a blitz succeeds this roll on a 2+. Otherwise, it's a 4+, which means if you're not blitzing with that Minotaur, then repositioning the Minotaur is a flip of the coin. Turn 3 now for the Wasabazons. So we are in the pouring rain, and what that means is all the catchy type stuff, as you can see here, is a -1. That means catching the ball is a -1. Intercepting the ball is a -1. Picking the ball up off the ground is a -1. Good removal here on the right side. That's a... Oh, that evens up the playing field. 10v10 here. Bad Dog says, so what did everyone think of my players' names? I very much loved them. They were fantastic. Felai block against the big guy. Got the POW here. 9+ breaks armor. A kind sir, the Minotaur, has horns as well on that blitz, which that Minotaur wants to do. He's going to get an extra point of strength, bringing that strength to an effective 6. Wasabazons stay in front of this Chaos Renegades team so far. The Renegades, the quote-unquote regular players on the Renegades team, they have a nega trait. You can see they all hate each other. They have animosity, where once they have the ball, the positionals anyway, once they have the ball, if they have to give up that ball via a pass or a handoff, they're going to roll a d6, and on a 1, they're going to say, no, I'm going to hold on to the ball. So it can be real tricky once you get that ball in the hands of, say, your Skaven player or your Elf player to really get it to somebody else who you need to get it to. El Nubarino asks, is the Rat Ogre missing this game? Yep, the Rat Ogre's out with an injury this week. Do Amazons always play in the rain because of the rainforest? They do not, but... Turn 4 now for the Fishy Fiends. They have 2 rerolls left in this game. I think they started with 2. Pretty good control of the ball over on the left side of the field right now. They could work their way back to center pitch. Moving the number 16 Goblin in for the assist against Masson the Saint. Nutters the Brine. Push out of this. Follows up and takes a mark on Elien the Praying Mantis. Always tricky to take a block with an ogre, because if you fail that boneheaded roll, you could be in trouble, especially if that ogre is anchoring your formation. Sometimes you don't want to take the block, right? Because you don't want to risk failing the die roll, because not only are they boneheaded, they are also loners. And then now your formation collapses. Looks like we're going to see a foul against a kind sir over in the right wide zone. Currently 2 assists would bring that to a 7+ to break armor. .25 seconds to go. Repositioning players. Yeah, this ball's going to move back to the right just a little bit. Oh, did I say he was going to foul the Minotaur? The Minotaur is his own player. Stand-up blitz, 3-die blitz, gets a pow against Blunder, but no armor break. Needed a 7. And now a 2-die by the Ogre gets a both standing result out of this. Get the laugh when you're the one taking the block. Failed 3+ dodge. He'll just eat that, and that'll be a turnover. Turn 4, back to the Wasabazons. El Negrino says, I think I'm the one who gave that Rat Ogre a missing next game. Congratulations. I'm sure the Wasabazons are thanking you right now. Ah, the relaxing sounds of a rainstorm and blood splatters. Wasabazons getting aggressive here on the single marks. Moving players forward. Here we go on the block. 2-die block against Darth Pointy Pony. Needs a POW to knock down this player. This is a blodger. We talked about what the dodge skill does for you in this game of Blood Bowl. The block skill makes another die phase save for you. That's called the both down result. If you have the block, so the both down result knocks both of you down, unless one of you or both of you has the block skill. If you have the block skill, you do not get knocked down. So when you have the block skill, that's one more die phase that's safe. And if you have the dodge skill, that's another die face that's safe. That means there's only a single die face that's going to knock you down. That's the POW. Just listen to those 8,000 hertz mouse position updates. Like, just think of the resources. Like, why do you need your computer getting 8,000 updates a second? That's madness. Too high block on the Ogre. Got the POW here. The Ballista on the block. No armor break, but that's going to eat up more than half of Festoon's movement. 3 to stand up, 2 left. Turn 5 now as the second quarter begins. Minute 24 now on the clock as the Fishy Fiends decide where they want to go. The Wasabazons have been staying right in front of them. Man. Caging up the ball on their own 2-yard line. Under a minute to play. Oh, my arm is so itchy. Ah. So I have, this might be too much information, but I have this, like, over the last couple of years, I've developed this, like, skin condition. Like, if you looked at me, you would not know the difference. But, like, I get, like, pressure hives now. So, like, not pressure as in, like, emotional pressure or mental pressure. Pressure as in, like, physical pressure. So, like, things like the cuff of a hoodie or my watch, right, will just, I'll have, like, an immune response. I'll get, like, hives. And so I was wearing my watch, and it looks like I have like a spider bite, but no, and it's super itchy. Fishy Fiends on the bonus clock, down to 5 minutes 13 seconds as they reposition players. So Chaos Renegades, we talked about how Chaos Renegades have access to 3 big guys. They actually have, they can field 3 big guys. They have a choice of 4. They can pick an Ogre, a Troll, a Minotaur, or a Rat Ogre. But all their other players are just, save for their linemen. Their linemen are humans, but everybody else is a hodgepodge of different races. You have Orcs and Skaven and Goblins and Elves. Fiendish Fairy says, I had to put nail varnish on the back of one of my watches due to a reaction to it. Welcome to the stream, first of all. Second of all, that sounds like a great idea. I don't know how I would do that. I could do that for, like, so, like, most of my watches are either metal or wood. I don't know if I want to do it to those, but like the rubber band for, like, my smart watch or whatever we call them now. Oh, you did it to the metal? Really? Maybe I'll do that. Mackie, welcome to the stream. Big Mackie says, oh, please tell us more about your medical conditions. Well, sure, if you really want to know. I have acid reflux and I take a omeprazole for it. And long story short, I have to switch my insurance cards, and the pharmacy was like, oh yeah, well, if you don't have the insurance available now, so it's normally $10 a month. If you don't have the insurance now, it's going to be $110. But, like, I can get it over the counter for half that. Like, what are you talking about? So I canceled the order because that's ridiculous. All right, I'll check it out then. Thanks, Fiendish Fairy. I appreciate it. Two-die block gets a POW here against Warren. Bad luck. No armor break, though. Nick Mackey says that happened to my fiance where they fucked up the dosage when we changed pharmacies and it was like $80 more. That is insanity. Like I just don't understand it. Phoenix Fairy says, test it on something that you don't care about before doing it to an expensive watch up. Yeah, absolutely. I would. That absolutely is the plan. But thank you. Two-die block against collateral damage will be a push here. The tick on the block. This is the thrower. We saw the thrower in the previous game. You can field up to two of them. Indeed, the Wasabazons have done so. Wasabazons activating that hit and run trait that they have on the blitzers to get an extra space of movement back into the backfield. Wasabazons with 5 minutes 40 seconds left on the clock. As the offense has been pushed over into the right side of the field here. They're over in the right wide zone. And the Wasabazons trying to position themselves, right? So they have the tackle zones set up in such a way, right, where they're trying to control this. They even have this. They're trying to control this and lock down the offense and give them fewer movement options, like we discussed earlier in the game here. They don't have to cover this side of the pitch, so now they can start to encircle and give this offense really nowhere to go except either retreat and regroup or start to fight their way forward, which, to be fair, they are Chaos Renegades. They do have that mighty Minotaur. Electric Man rooting for this Chaos Renegades offense. Mick Mackey asks, are most of the coaches in this league North American, or are there a lot of Europeans too? I don't know, but I would wager, I would feel confident saying most are from North America. But we do have some Europeans. I want to say 4 or 5 are from Europe. We've had someone from Argentina, but I don't know what time zone that is. BB Nut and Squiggy are definitely European. All right, so moving laterally back to the left here. Didn't want to have to fight through this defense. Stand-up blitz against the Fury. He's going to get a POW out of this. The tackle skill on bad luck here. So tackle negates dodge. The Fury here is a blodger, as we discussed earlier, but tackle is a way to negate the dodge skills. So the Fury here would not get the benefits of dodge in any way if marked by someone with tackle. Yeah, I'm just having a look at let's see if any coaches stand out. I think 1, 2. I think 3. I would be confident saying 3 are from Europe, and I think it might actually be 4. But I'd be confident in 3 3 coaches being from Europe. Yeah, BB Nut. To be fair to BB Nut really tries to make himself available, but due to the nature of BB Nut's job, just sometimes, like this was just a bad week, or not a bad week, but like a busy week. Bad Dog says, I wish there was a way you could base leagues off the region it was being held in. Well, that is something that we have a list of things to discuss in between seasons. So we're going to see if we can try to alleviate some of these headaches. But when we played on Rebel, I had to play at 3 a.m. before work. Yeah, I get it. Like, I totally understand, like, it is a globe. It could be 6 a.m. for one person and 6 p.m. for another. We try to work that out through our league rules with the extensions and things. And it's been pretty, actually, I'm not even going to say pretty. It's been a big success, I think, the sort of the format of the league getting... Really, one, we want to share Blood Bowl with people because we think it's awesome. 2, we don't want Blood Bowl to be a chore. Like take care of your people, take care of your work. We want this to be fun, so we don't want people to feel like they're signing up for this big obligation. But also, you've got to keep the competition moving and so on and so forth. So I think we've done a pretty good job with it so far. It's worked out better than I would have imagined, honestly. Failed dodge here for the Tick. That's a pretty big loss here, losing one of those 2 throwers. Remember, they both have on the ball. That's really not so important in this matchup in the rain, I think, but on kickoffs, having a player that can move 3 like that, having one on the right, one on the left, is pretty big. There's another mark here against the Ballista, the sole remaining thrower. As the Fishy Fiends continue to move this ball down pitch. McMackey says the extension system seems like it could be really nice when things come up. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, it's worked out really well. Double skulls against the Ballista. Spends a reroll. And gets the knockdown thanks to block. No armor break, though. Yeah, the extensions are there to be used. Like, don't think of them as like a game of Final Fantasy where you want to like have 99 Phoenix Downs, you know? They're there to just make things run smoothly. Ajax is going to park this ball on the opposing 20-yard line, doing a pretty good job with this offense here. The defense getting pretty aggressive here. I mean, it worked out for War Horseman last competition for sure. But I think my personal, it's hard to not think about this about if I were coaching them. But against a team like this, I'd be making key marks, right? I'd be saying, oh, there's the Skaven player, I'm going to go after him, or there's the Goblin. That's an easy pick, right? Strength 2, AV 8+. I think it was a good idea to go after the down big guys. If you can get the big guy down and get him out, those 3 big guys, if you can take those out, the Chaos Renegades team is really, really crippled. But you can do that in a couple of ways, right? You don't have to take them off the pitch. Let's take the Minotaur, for example. This Minotaur, right? If you can get that drive moving let's say you can just get that drive moving in one direction, right? And then leave this Minotaur alone, right? Dodge away from him, stay out of his blitz range. Now the Minotaur, all the Minotaur can do at that point is a 50-50 to reposition, right? That's a pretty good way of getting that Minotaur out of the drive, right? You don't even have to worry about him at that point. Gotta hoard all the extensions to use in the final boss. That's right. The final boss is weak to extensions. 2 die against Nutters the Brine will be a knockdown here. El Nubrina says leaving them away from the action is pretty useful. Yeah, like on these teams that have like a couple of key positions, like again on the Chaos Renegades team, the 3 big guys. If you just get those 3 big guys out of the drive, whether that's getting them off the pitch or more likely than that, just moving the drive away from them. Now that team is pretty significantly crippled, right? Think about a Wood Elf team that has lost their War Dancers. I mean, they're still elves, and they can still do what elves do, but that's a pretty huge loss for an elf team. Big Baggy says, in theory, I like the Troll more than the Minotaur on Renegades for that reason, and the fact that they're cheaper. Yep, fair enough. Wasabazons knocking down collateral damage, getting 2 players in front of the ball carrier. That's not going to be enough to stop the score, however. One die against Darth Pointy Pony. Gets a dodge push out of this. Thomasina Tom Zarek. I absolutely adore the Tom Zarek shtick. Is eternal. Clappies, thank you very much for the bits. I appreciate it. A mark taken on the ball carrier. Wow, a dodge and a rush. Well, a dodge with a reroll and a rush. 2 marks on Black Wolf of the Deep. A block and a blitz will free up this ball carrier. There's the block. Gets a push out of this. Blitz coming up by Darth Pointy Pony, I have to wager. Well, it doesn't have to be Darth Pointy Pony. Might actually be Winter Gust to try to get some SPP. Oh, no. No, it won't be because he's marked. There it is. 2-9 block got the POW here against the Saint. All right, that frees up the ball carrier to score. Will they score here this turn? I think they may. Oh, it's turn 8. Of course they will. I think they may. Good knockdown here by Winter. Oh, no, it's a dodge push. Boy, I am wrong for 3 calls in a row. There it is. Well done. 1-0 the score. The Fishy Fiends take the lead here in turn 8. 1 more turn left in the first half unless there's a timeout. And then there'll be 2 turns. I'm going to get a drink. I'll be back in 10 seconds. All right, do I think there'll be a second half of this game? Yes, I do. They're in the line here. I don't think it's going to be, it's not going to be the big guys. They're so important to this roster. He needs to keep that Minotaur off the roster. It looks like he'll keep the Ogre on the roster. Does he not have a 3rd lineman? No, the lineman has the block skill, so I get that. All right, fair enough. I think that's fair. 3 on the line here with that Ogre, Strength 5 Ogre. here in the nose tackle position. Final turn of the first quarter, unless there's a timeout for the Wasabazons. I don't think they're going to be able to score. If they get a timeout, then they can score, and then it's a different situation altogether. I have to put... Here's the problem. I haven't even told you what I'm doing. I'm... A few friends of mine and I, we play Epic. We play Legions Imperialis, which, if you're unfamiliar, is a Games Workshop game. It takes place in 30K, but it's Epic scale. So, like, there used to be a 40K Epic game, which means it's... The miniatures are very tiny, but you have whole armies on the table rather than just a skirmish, and it's awesome. Anyway, I have to put together the rest of my army. The problem is there's a new rule book, and I want to make sure that the rest of my army is what I want it to be. So I have to read the rule book first, so I know if I want more models or different models or what, and I just haven't gotten around to doing it. No timeout, so one turn left in the first half. Everybody on the line, save for the ballista. They're going to try to block down this line. Failed the foul appearance roll and nutters the brine. Another attempt coming up here. 2-die block against nutters the brine will just be a push. Won't follow up. Will follow up. Wow. I thought for sure they wouldn't follow up there and they would leave the assist against Festoon. Mark against collateral damage. 2-die block. This will be a knockdown. Looking for a 9+. Can pull somebody in for another assist here. 3, 4, 5, 6 would be a 2-die block with Black Moon with the block skill. And then I think it'll be a pass for some SPP. Might also see a foul if he can get the knockdown on the Ogre. 2-die block. That's going to be a both standing result. Has 3 rerolls. May as well re-roll it. Yeah. Re-rolls it into a knockdown. So the Ogre here has picked up the guard skill. So we should talk about what the blocker has here. They have defensive. You can see it looks like the guard skill, but it's got some cracks in it. This negates the guard skill. The guard skill guarantees that you're lending an assist to a block, but the defensive skill negates it. So that could be a huge factor in this game, especially when we talk about the line of scrimmage. Failed the pickup. 75% chance with the reroll. That would have been a 3+. It was a 4+ due to the rain. And that'll be the end of the half. 1-0. The Fishy Fiends in the lead. The Wasabazons are going to be on offense yet again here. They're going to try to get on the board in 8 turns. Still not getting back one of their knockouts. So they're going to be down one of their throwers, unfortunately. So they still have one thrower on the roster. Fishy Fiends, they've been down a big guy all game. And again, perhaps the most important big guy. That Rat Ogre, once again, they have Animal Savagery, which is when they activate their die roll. So long as they have a friendly player next to them that they can beat up on, they can still activate. Otherwise, they lose their activation. So that doesn't sound great, and it's not. You don't want to beat up on your own players. But when you have a guy with Claw and Mighty Blow and Frenzy and Block who can, and a strength of 5 that can always activate, that is a killer, right? A reliable killer. Anchor formation for the defense. That's fine, Ellie Burrito. That's cool. Wasabazons with 2 in the left wide zone, 5 on the line currently, 1 back to receive. They're still in pretty good shape. Despite being down a thrower, so long as they have the 1, I still think they're in pretty good shape here. If they can lock out these 2 big guys, as we discussed in the first half, they've got a real shot here. A real shot of tying the game for sure. Maybe even winning this game if they can get a few key removals. All right, 4 on the line here. Not tangling with the... What is happening there? Not tangling with the Ogre at all. They're going to need to keep that gap covered. They'll get under the ball here for on the ball. Wasn't able to catch the ball on the kickoff. The brilliant coaching event was a draw on the roll-off, so nothing's going to happen. Nobody gets an extra reroll. Turn 9 now for the Wasabazons. They're at 3. Fishy Fiends at 2. 2-die block against the left defensive end. Gets a gets a push out of this. I was going to say he'll take another block, but he's spread out wide here, so there's no other block to take. 2-die. This is against Killian the Great. The pile drive. Is it still? It used to be called pile on. It's pile driver now, right? Yeah, pile driver. The way pile driver works is that after you knock somebody down, you get a free foul afterwards with the player. Two assists on Festooning the Barnacle. Strength of 5 means 1 more assist would make that a 2-die block. Unfortunately, Nutters the Blind is behind Festoon, preventing that other assist from getting in there. Coming up after this game, we'll have our final game of our triple header this evening. We're going to have the Gutterballs versus Entanglements. That's El Negrino versus Conkill. Orcs versus Imps. Imperial Nobility. Imperial Nobility, I would have told you a few weeks ago, was the replacement for Bretonians. But now, with the announcements that we're getting Brett back in the game. Oh, it's a bad block. Spends a reroll this early. Gets a push out of it. I don't think that was necessarily a bad reroll there. If he's trying to lock down this Ogre, I think that's totally fair. But we're getting Bretts, so Bretonians are back in the game. I don't know how they're going to be different from Imperial Nobility. I mean, the two are different as it stands, but I don't know how much, if at all, they're changing. And we're getting Khemri back. So what I'm referring to is Blood Bowl the third season edition has been announced. The new box set for the tabletop game. We're finally getting the return of Khemri. Khemri was a team that had 4 big guys, 4 mummies, no negatrates, and could never, ever pick up the ball. But that's not true anymore. There's a rule change that's going to allow them to pick up the ball now. McMackey says, I'm so hyped for Khemri. Yeah, I love to see that. I mean, I want everybody in the game, but I really want to see gnomes. I have yet to see gnomes played at all. Two-die block over on the right side of the line. Gets a pal here against the mountain. Looking for an 8+. There's the armor break. Is it a removal? It is not. So still a 1-player disadvantage here for the Fishy Fiends. Oh no, they're at 11. There's no disadvantage at all. A rat ogre disadvantage is what they have. Yeah, so that's what we were talking about with that Minotaur. Just repositioning the Minotaur if you're not blitzing. It's a 50-50. Elder Marino says Kemery have had a few Supreme Court justices playing for them too. That's right. We had Elder Marino play a Kemery team. Was that season 2, I think? Good armor break by Festung. Gets a stun. Yeah, it was definitely back in BB2. It was awful. Yeah, Kemery, very low agility team. Remember, we're in the rain here, so picking up this ball is going to be a -1. Turn 10 for the Wasabazons. They'll save that ball pickup for later, but this will inform how they want to take their turn here, knowing that's a 50-50 pickup with just 2 rerolls. Are they going to pull players back to cover the ball first, or are they going to risk the ball pickup and maybe set up protection somewhere else? I think they're going to have to pull some players back and keep this ball safe for a turn. Electric Man's asked, is Kemery Tomb Kings? Yes, it is. Kemery is Tomb Kings. Or I should say, no, that's right. Kemery is Tomb Kings. McMackey says, I don't know if I'm going to do Necro or Corn for the next season. I'm so glad we got Corn, man. We haven't had Corn in Cyanide Blood Bowl since Blood Bowl 1. Yeah, Tomb Kings were renamed. A bunch of teams were renamed for whatever reason in Cyanide Blood Bowl. Slan was renamed. That one seems obvious because Games Workshop disavows themselves of the Slan for some reason, but lore reasons. But Slan was renamed to Kislev Circus, which I think was very clever of Cyanide to get Slan back into the game. Festoon says, I need to pry myself from Necro, but I have just too much fun playing them. You play whatever you want. There's no reason. You can play the same team for all eternity. And that would be perfectly fine. Sure Hands gives you a free reroll on picking up the ball. That brought that up to a 75% chance of success. We've talked about this before, but it bears repeating. In a game of Blood Bowl where you're often rolling just one die for things, that means every die roll is really, really scary, right? If you have, right, there's a world of difference between one die face being risky on a D6 versus one die face being risky on a D20 or a D100, right? Like, and because of that risk, rerolls are so valuable in this game. Again, with the coin flip example, you know, it's easy to intuit that a coin flip is a 50-50, right? If I'm looking for heads on a coin flip, I have a 1 in 2 chance of that happening. But if I get to flip it twice and I need just a heads on one of those, my 50% odds have just leapt forward to a 75% chance of success. That's the value of rerolls in Blood Bowl. They are hugely valuable. And so when you spend them, you really want to make sure you're getting your money's worth, so to speak, out of them. Especially in this version of the rules, it used to be the case that you could only spend a single team reroll a turn. Now that is no longer true. You can spend a single team reroll per die pool. So you could spend 3 or 4 rerolls on one big, amazing play. And it's very, very important to understand how the odds change in a game like this, because they change dramatically, right? Even if we're not talking about a reroll, when we talk about the difference between a rush failing on a 1 or a rush failing on a 1 or a 2, right? You've gone from a 1/6 chance of failure to a 1/3 chance of failure. That's a huge leap. Good armor break into a stun here against Thomasina Tom Zarek. And because rerolls are so valuable, you don't want to waste them, right? You'll see a lot of seasoned coaches. This is a great way to tell a brand new coach from a seasoned coach. Like on a kickoff, somebody goes to pick up the ball. If it's a seasoned coach and the ball's real far away from the opponent and the opponent's not super fast and the seasoned coach on offense has pretty good control of the pitch right now, he's not going to re-roll that failed pickup. He's going to leave that ball on the ground because it's not worth it. The re-roll is worth so much more than just picking up the ball on that turn. But you'll see a new coach say, oh, I failed. I have this free re-roll. Let me just spend the re-roll and grab it. Flavia says, I was also considering corn, but we can't all play corn. Of course we can. We can do whatever we want. That's right. More blood for the blood god. More skulls for the skull throne. By the way, if you like RPGs, the Warhammer 40k RPG Rogue Trader is marvelous. Computer RPG, CRPG. Yeah, it's really good. It's really, really good. The only weirdness is Clyphus, you don't want to play Vamps. Eli block against bad luck here will be a push. I'm actually looking forward to so there's a tactical game, Mechanicus, which is great. And I'm looking forward to Mechanicus too. McMackey says, I'm on an FFT binge right now though. Me too, man. I'm in chapter 4. I just did the thing in chapter 4. The thing with the character in chapter 4. I don't want to spoil it for anybody. Yeah, Ogre Tactics. So a buddy of mine this is his first time playing Final Fantasy Tactics, and he seems to be loving it, which is great because I love it too. And I said, if you really like this, check out Tactics Ogre because it's the same game. It's made by the same people. It's the same art style, just more, right? Bigger battlefields, bigger armies, more items, more slots, and it's great. Festoon says the character with the awesome hair. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yeah, Tactical Ogre. So, as an aside, I love the Ogre Battle series in general. Now, Tactics Ogre is nothing like the other Ogre Battle games, but they're all great games. And I am surprised we don't have more Ogre Battle games. There is a spiritual successor called Unicorn Unicorn Overlord. It's really good. Turn 11 for the Fishy Fiends. Little bit of pressure here on the Amazons. You can see trying to poke some holes over on the right side, over on the left side. The Amazons playing it cool right now. Need to be worried about these big guys charging in here. This is the problem with the Minotaur, man. That Minotaur. So Ajax wanted to keep the Minotaur free to move and probably thought, look, 2 turns he'll get to where I want him to be. That has not been the case here. Unicorn Overload sounds cool. Unicorn Overlord is great. Triangle Strategy is good. I like Triangle Strategy. Octopath Traveler, which is not a strategy game, but that's another game I like a lot. Yeah, Triangle Strategy. What was the other one? The other... I can't remember what it was called. I think it was from Square. Not Triangle Strategy. I can't remember. Festoon says, I'm a huge fan, so I've been playing Ever Crisis on mobile. Ever Crisis? I don't know what... Is that Final Fantasy? Squircle Strategy 3. 22 seconds for the Fishy Fiends. You know what? That Minotaur is fine. He's safety now. He's just the safety. Still haven't finished Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. But I'm going to finish it at some point. And I want to play the Crisis Core like remaster or remake. Final Fantasy VII Remake I liked a lot. I thought that was great. Rebirth, I do not enjoy. I haven't finished Final Fantasy 16 either. That one I thought was good. I mean, it's not an RPG. It's just an action game. But I was enjoying it. Good eye block over in the left wide zone. This will be a dodge push against the Ballista. Really? I'll have to look into it. Yeah, Tactics Ogre is awesome. So Ogre Battle. So Tactics Ogre is the second game in the Ogre Battle series. There's 3 or 4 Ogre Battle games. Tactics Ogre is the odd man out. It plays like Final Fantasy. It's great. But the other ones are like, boy, how do you describe it? Failed rush. You always fail the rush, man. 2-9 blitz on the ball carrier. Got the POW here. Very well done by Darth Pointy Pony. Got the knockout as well. Oppo's going to be spent to keep the thrower on the pitch. Great blitz by Ajax. Yeah, we talked about that ogre getting through, but the elf has even more speed. Ogre Battle is it's an RPG with a real-time strategy map. So like in real time, armies are marching along the map and you can go to towns and whatever. But the strategy, another removal here. Good job getting rid of the goblin. It's going to tie it up on the pitch, I think. And like, you know, if you can get to maybe like the woods first, right now you have the protection of the woods, or you can like force your enemy to cross a river or whatever. But then the actual battles, you don't do anything. They're completely automated. You set up your formations and your gear. You have a front row and a back row, but then they just fight on their own. It's very interesting. It's very unique, and it's awesome. It's such a good game. There's one it was on the Super Nintendo, I think, and then they remade it for the PlayStation 1. That's where I played it. And then there was a follow-up game on the Nintendo 64, which is great. And I think there's a mobile game of some sort, or not mobile, like a handheld game, like a Game Boy game or something. So that removal does a couple, or not removal, that blitz on the ball carrier does a couple of things for this Amazon team. This Amazon team now has to pull back to try to protect this ball for a potential scrum from forming. And that also means not only do they have to pull back, but they've got to tighten up. And by doing that, that's going to allow this defense to really start to punch them in the throat. Failed pickup in the rain here. Has to spend a reroll, down to 1 reroll for the game. Rushes over in the right wide zone, but doesn't declare a handoff. It's going to keep the ball over in the right wide zone. Gets a both standing result. Spends the final reroll into a POW. Is going to knock down Jules Wintergust. Really wants that armor break, but didn't get it. And just like that, the Wasabazons out of rerolls for the duration of the game, unless Snuffle provides some on a kickoff. That was a big knockdown in the rain, yeah. Again, talking about die rolls, right? A 3+ pickup is a 2/3 chance of success. You make that a 4+ in the rain, that's now just a 50-50. Mick Mackey says, 0 reroll ball is the truest form of Blood Bowl. When were rerolls introduced? I don't think they were in first edition. Maybe second edition? So there's a big, so Amazon's like cloud services, like their computers that you can use for software and whatnot. That whole suite of services is called AWS. AWS was down sporadically all day, and it's caused my echoes, my I don't want to say the name, my ALEXAs to just keep telling me over and over and over that a package of mine has arrived. I'm like, I know, shut up, shut up, shut up. Great removal here. Now the tide is turning in the favor of the Fiends as they get another Amazon off the pitch. Ninja Gloppy, welcome to the stream. But did you check that the package arrived? I did. I did. It's my new mouse. It's my new 8 kilohertz mouse. Did I block against? How do you pronounce it? Elian Ruby. Gets a pal here. Fishy Fiends on the bonus clock. They're down to just 6 seconds. Here comes the blitz on the ball carrier. 2-die blitz. Double pals against Tom Zarek. An 8+ would be huge against the blitzer. There's the armor break. Got the removal. Another lost Amazon. And the Minotaur, a kind sir, is just going to stay back, way back there. It's like, I'm good. You guys are doing great. You guys are doing great on your own. I'm just here for moral support. Double pals on the ball carrier. Needed a pal, got 2 of them. Fourth quarter begins here for the Wasabazons. Trying to get on the board. They've lost the ball twice now, and now the ball pretty far ahead of them. They're going to have to fight for it. They didn't want to have to fight this Chaos Renegades team with all that strength, but now they're going to have to. A kind sir is satisfied just showing off back there. He's got the field all to himself. That's why he's back here. That's right, he's the cheerleader. He's just shouting. He's like, this is bullshit. Come play with us, man. No, man. No, you don't respect me. Nah, man, you're a helpful part of the team. Yeah, whatever, man. You think my horns are stupid? T9 block against bad luck. This will be a power over in the left wide zone. Moves in for the assist against Nutters the Brine. Didn't really need the assist here. Oh, yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. Absolutely needs the assist. Failed dodge in the right wide zone. That'll be a turnover. And now the Fishy Fiends have a real opportunity to not just claim the ball, but secure it. Whatever, guys. No, it's fine. Whatever. It's fine. It's whatever, man. Just go get the ball, whatever. Yeah. Yeah, I'm tough, man. No, I don't want to get the ball. Fine, just go. Just go. I'll see you at the company happy hour. T9 block against Blunder. This will be a push. The Napoleon Minotyte. Boy, another removed Amazon, and now they start to fall. This is not, this is not uncommon, right? Remember, these Amazons are AV8+, so they're brittle. He has a bag of chips and he's just chilling out. Two-die block against Ruby. Got a pal here as well. 7+ breaks armor with Mighty Blow. There's another armor break. And 2 SPP for Festoon the Barnacled. Another pal. Can he get another armor break on an 8+ against Blunder? That's the ball cleared. It's going to be a 4+ pickup. Both down result on a final block. Wasn't able to pick the ball up here in turn 13. Turn 14 back to Wasabazons now. But still in pretty good control of the ball. I mean, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Fiends surrounding the ball, and not a whole lot of Amazons left to fight for it. And the ones that are left on the pitch are really scattered about, so it's going to be hard for them to regroup and try to reclaim this ball. Fishy Fiends also in the lead, 1-0, so they don't have to be the ones taking the risks. The Wasabazons do. The Saint tried to take a block against Nutters the Bride. And was so disgusted by Nutter's appearance, decided not to block after all. Failed dodge is another null turn. And in turn 14, the Fiends are going to have another go at picking up this ball. Let's see if a kind sir wants to get into this ball game. Pile driver player, the Grave, stands up. Hey, welcome to the ball game, a kind sir. Crosses the line of scrimmage, takes a mark against the Fury. Two-die blitz against Blunder will be a push. And now a 3-die against Blunder for a 7+ to break armor. Good setup here by Ajax. Another armor break and another removal. We're down to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 Amazons, 6. 6 Amazons left on the pitch. 50-50 pickup works out. Ain't no thing when you can roll 6s. Hands off the double time Skinner wake. One rush gets into the end zone. It's going to keep the ball safe here. Two-die block against the Praying Mantis. Another pal. No armor break. Parks the ball right outside the end zone, not risking that rush, knowing that a 1 in 6 chance of failure is a 900% failure rate. Turn 15 for the Wasabazons. I don't think there's anything they can do to stop this score. Oh, they can. That was the play. Didn't work out. Turn 15 now for the Fishy Fiends. I think we'll stall this out again. Festoon the Barnacles coming in on the assist for the foul. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is a 3+ to break armor right now. There it is. Broke armor, got the KO, but the ref was having none of that. He said, come on, I know exactly what you're doing there. 5 Amazons left on the pitch. Turn 16 for the Wasabazons. Nobody can get at this ball carrier. The score can't be stopped. Is there going to be, is War Horseman going to try to pick up some extra SPP here? Or just try to stay alive? Taking a mark against a kind sir, that is scary. That is a scary mark. That is a mighty blow player. Failed the rush. Failed the rush going after a kind sir, but I don't think Ajax is going to risk it. I think he wants the 3 SPP on the touchdown instead. Yeah, there it is. That'll be the final for this one. 2-0 is the score. The Fishy Fiends take it over the Wasabazons. Well played by both coaches. That was fun to watch. I appreciated it. That's right. You got to remember that it's a 900% failure rate. Sometimes someone might grace you with a cheater 99% failure rate, but you can't rely on it. And with that victory, the Fishy Fiends are going to move into second place in Division A with their win here in Week 1, just behind the Spite Spires Snipers. We're going to get right into our third and final game this evening. Right now, it's another Division A matchup.